Hello, in this video I'm going to show you the few examples for the conditional statement such as if else, if go to statement. So in this particular problem, what we are trying to do is we want to user to input any two-digit number starting from 10 until 99. So then the user input should be an odd number. In order for the system to work or the program to work, we have to make sure that the number entered by the user has to be an odd number but two-digit number, right? So in this case, if you are inputting, for example, an invalid number such as an even number with two-digit even number, or like a digit which is like one-digit number or any other digit than two-digit numbers, definitely you will get an error message. So the looping has to continue, the questioning has to continue until you enter the valid number. Okay, so it's like an infinite loop case. As long as you're entering invalid number, the same job will be repeated, asking to input the correct or the valid number. So here is the input, the main header files, hash include iostream and using namespace std void main, and in this case I'm using the variable n as the input variable. Using cout statement, we'll just display the key, the text enter any two-digit number, and using cin we can fetch the given number. So the main step in this particular problem is to check the conditions. So we have three conditions that is to be to check. The first condition is that number has to be above 10 or 10 or sorry 10 or above, and number has to be below 100. So that's why this particular condition will check whether the number is 10 or below 10, and this will check whether the number is above 9, which fail the condition of what you call two-digit number, because if it is less than 10 it is a single digit number, if it is greater than 99 it is a two-digit number. And this part will check whether the number is an odd or not. If it is an odd number, if the number is an odd number, then this particular operation will give you 1, and if the number is an even number, this particular operation will give you 0. So if you are getting 0 here, which means that the entered number is an even number. So this or any of the condition, because it's basically an OR gate, this operation is called OR gate. So we have three conditions, and we have to check these conditions whether the conditions are satisfied or not. So we have three conditions are there, and this will check all three conditions, and if the conditions all are either one condition or all the conditions are satisfied, then this will continue with the program execution. So now inside this particular if loop, we just place this particular statement: cout is invalid number, because if this condition is satisfied, then which means that this number is beyond or it's not it's an invalid number, and the text will be invalid number, please try again. And we are doing some kind of redirection or controlling, what you call directing the control into what you call the statement again, because we want to repeat the same task as long as if we are entering an invalid number. So this go to xx will take the control to this particular statement, and this xx stands for a label, whereas this xs is indicating is a go to. It's like a a go to statement means basically the control will be transferred to the label given by xx. So this is going to be the label. So this particular program is going to be executed here, this particular sequence, as long as you are entering a invalid number. So the if this particular condition, any of this condition is satisfied, this particular part will be executed, and if the condition is wrong, then this particular conditions will be executed. So we have to get some style, we are just using some cout statement to get some border lines. So let us try to run this program and see what will be the output. So when I'm running the program, I can see the output screen, enter any two-digit number. So I'm just entering, for example, number 1. So here, since the number is 1, which is not a valid number, so that's why I'm getting a message invalid, please try again. So I'll type 198. Again I'll get the same message, I'm getting the invalid because number is 198. It is not a 2-digit number. Now let me try another number, which is 44, which is satisfying the 2-digit condition, but it is not an odd number, it's an even number. Still I'm getting the same message, it is an invalid number, please try again. Then I tried 33. So when I entered the 33, I got the message, congratulations, you have entered the valid number, please press any key to continue. Okay, so in this project, in this program 2, write a C++ program using conditional statement. This program accepts any integer number from the user and print the text message, stay home, stay safe, that many times. For example, if the user enter 15, then 15 times in a row the stay home, stay safe will be displayed. So you'll have 15 rows, and each row you'll find stay home, stay home, stay safe. So here I'm using two variables. One variable is n, which already initialized with the value 1, and x is the input number entered by the user. So this statement, cout statement, we use to display the text, and this particular cin statement uses to get the value from the user. Now this is a statement that is to be repeated. Stay safe, stay home and stay safe. It has to be repeated as long as the number, as long as the value of n1, because I'm using this n1 as a counter, is less than or equal to x. So I'm just putting this condition, if n is less than or equal to x, go to repeat. But in each stage, I'm going to increment, this is by 1. So first time it will be printed, then this value will become 2, and this process will continue until the particular condition, which is n less than or equal to x, is satisfied. And the moment when the value n, because since we are incrementing n, because this is going to be a variable, because it is not going to be fixed, because the value of n is keep incrementing by 1, whereas the value of x is constant. So you'll reach a point when the value of n is equal to x, which is the end of the statement. And if once the value of n is exceed the value of x, what happens, the control will quit this particular loop, and it will terminate the program. So let's try to compile the program and see the output. So enter any integer number. For example, if I'm saying 15, so it is going to print 15 times the message, stay home, stay safe. Once again I'll try for another number. Let's say if I'm going for 5, it is going to display 5 times. And if I'm going for example 100, it is going to display 100 times. Okay, so any number, any sequence, it will work. If I go for example 10,000, it is going to repeat 10,000 times. Okay, so the third program is write a program that is used to convert currency from UAE dirham to 5 international currencies, which include US currency with the code number 1, UK currency code 2, Canadian dollar code 3, Euro code 4, and Australian dollar code 5. So the user has to input the amount in dirham, UAE dirham, and followed by the currency code. So in this particular method, in this particular program, I'm going to use the switch statement to write this particular code. The exchange rate is also given as part of the question. 1 US dollar is equal to 3.68 dirham. 1 UK pound is 4.57 dirham. 1 Canadian dollar is 2.63. 1 euro 4.02, and 1 Australian dollar is 2.33 dirham. So let's see how we are going to solve this question. So here are the variables that we are going to declare. AED is a float variable. AED stands for the UAE dirham. And int C code, we are using int for the country code, because we are going to enter 1, 2, 3, 4 integer numbers. And these two statements will display, first statement will display the text message to enter the amount in dirham followed by the country code, and C in statement will help us to get these values entered by the user into the corresponding locations AED and C code. And here the sequence is very important. The first entry is supposed to be AED followed by the country code. Okay, now the country code is one for United States dollars, I mean US dollars. So we just define a switch statement here, switch followed by a country code, because the switching is going to happen based on the country code. And the after switch statement, the country code, you have to place it within the bracket, and there is no semicolon. Case 1 means what? When you enter 1, automatically the control will be transferred to this particular section. Same way we will have case 2, case 3, and so on. So when it is case 1, what we want is, this is only a text message, to get a border to be printed, a line to be printed, some a style of printing the output. And Cout is calculated by the equation equivalent US dollar is equal to AED divided by 3.68. So the value AED is going to be divided by 3.68. That value will be displayed as equivalent US dollar. Same way we can continue for case 2, case 3, and so on. Okay, for the case 2, when it is UK, the same thing will be repeated. Only difference is that the change in the text and the equation that we used, because the exchange rate is 4.57. So 80 divided by 4.57. And this part for case 3. So here the only difference is Canadian dollar, and the text and the equation is 80 divided by 2.63. This part for euro, the conversion rate is 80 divided by 4.02, the case number 4. So similarly for case 5, we are using the equation 80 divided by 2.33. Now one of the important part is the default, because if you are going to enter a invalid code, we should get an error message. So in case if you enter any other number than 5, because we have 1 to 5 is defined, and beyond 5 we don't have any option. So in such cases, a error message will be displayed, and this error message is invalid country code. And this part also will help us to ask the user whether he want to continue the entry of data. So in such cases, the user has to input either Y or either Y or N. Y means what? Yes, he want to continue, and no means what, you want to terminate, the program, or quit the program. So whatever the user's choice, either Y or N, that value we are going to get it into one particular variable called ch, and I'm going to define the ch as a character. You can see on top is already defined as a character. So we have already defined a character, ch as character. So whatever value, either Y or N, and this also applicable, this also we can check by we can make it valid by small y or capital Y. So we want to check the value which is stored in ch. If the value is either capital Y or small y, both indicate that yes, the user would like to continue. So in such cases, you can redirect the control to a label called repeat, and repeat is nothing but it's the beginning of the program. You will find repeat here, and the same statement which is entering the new amount and the country code will be followed. So let us try to combine this program and see the results. So here I'm just typing 12567, and the country code, let's say country code is 8. And as you know that 8 is not a valid country, definitely the system should show an error message. So let's say, so we got an error message, invalid entry code, invalid country code. Do you want to continue? So you have an option, either you can go for capital Y or capital N. If you are asking for capital Y, then the same questions will be repeated. That means please enter the amount again. A new amount has to be entered by the user. If it is no, the program will be terminated. So let's type another number here. For example, I'll go for 12567 and assume that it is 4. Okay, now first thing is we have to type either capital Y or small y. So let me try small y. I'm entering small y. So the new amount, we have to enter the new amount. I'm going to enter the same amount, for example 1 2 4 5 7, and the option I'm going to give, for example 4 is supposed to be euro. So I'm getting the answer in equivalent euro is 3098. Please press any key to continue. So now I have a little bit, modify the program, because we want to make sure that this question, which is like, do you want to continue, will be asked for both invalid case as well as for the valid case. So for example, in case if the person, I mean the user, want to repeat the same task, then probably no need to run the program again and again. In the end, he says, if you want to continue, he is supposed to enter y, and if you want to discontinue, we are supposed to enter no. So what I have done is I have removed this statement of entering the statement, do you want to continue, outside the state the switch statement. And so every time these questions will be asked. So in case if you want to continue, you have to enter either capital Y or no, or any other number will be treated as what you call the permission to quit the program. Okay, hope you have understood the basic logic. So thank you for listening this video. Thank you so much.